Thank you for joining with me. Today we are on Lesson 140 of A Course in Miracles workbook for students. We're in part 1 of the workbook. Only salvation can be said to cure. Cure is a word that cannot be applied to any remedy the world accepts as beneficial. What the world perceives as therapeutic is but what will make the body better. When it tries to heal the mind, it sees no separation from the body, where it thinks the mind exists. This is a reference to attempts to heal the mind by using medication and other physical means to heal the brain. Its forms of healing thus must substitute illusion for illusion. One belief in sickness takes another form, so the patient now perceives himself as well. He is not healed. He merely had a dream that he was sick, and in the dream he found a magic formula to make him well. It's funny, if anybody's following my reading of the text, it's always aligned. Anyway, yet he is not awakened from the dream, and so his mind remains exactly as it was before. He has not seen the light that would awaken him and end the dream. What difference does the content of a dream make in reality? One either sleeps or awakens. There is nothing in between. The happy dreams the Holy Spirit brings are different from the dreaming of the world, where one can merely dream he is awake. The dreams forgiveness lets the mind perceive do not induce another form of sleep so that the dreamer dreams another dream. His happy dreams are heralds of the dawn of truth upon the mind. They lead from sleep to gentle waking, so that dreams are gone, and thus they cure for all eternity. Atonement heals with certainty and cures all sickness. For the mind which understands that sickness can be nothing but a dream is not deceived by forms the dream may take. Sickness, where guilt is absent, cannot come, for it is but another form of guilt. Atonement does not heal the sick, for that is not a cure. It takes away the guilt that made the sickness possible, and that is cure indeed. For sickness now is gone, with nothing left to which it can return. Peace be to you who have been cured in God and not in idle dreams. For cure must come from holiness, and holiness cannot be found where sin is cherished. God abides in holy temples. He is barred where sin has entered. Yet there is no place where he is not, and therefore sin can have no home in which to hide from his beneficence. There is no place where holiness is not, and nowhere sin and sickness can abide. This is the thought that cures. It does not make distinctions among unrealities, nor does it seek to heal what is not sick, unmindful where the need for healing is. There is no magic. It is merely an appeal to truth which cannot fail to heal and heal forever. It is not a thought which judges an illusion by its size, its seeming gravity, or anything that is related to the form it takes. It merely focuses on what it is and knows that no illusion can be real. Let us not try today to seek the cure what cannot suffer sickness. Healing must be sought but where it is, and then applied to what is sick so that it can be cured. There is no remedy the world provides that can effect a change in anything. The mind that brings illusions to the truth is really changed. There is no change but this. For how can one illusion differ from another but in attributes which have no substance, no reality, no core, and nothing that is truly different? Today we seek to change our minds about the source of sickness, for we seek a cure for all illusions, not another shift among them. We will try today to find the source of healing, which is in our minds because our Father placed it there for us. It is no farther from us than ourselves. It is as near to us as our own thoughts, so close it is impossible to lose. Deuteronomy 30:11-14. For this commandment, which I command you this day, is not too hard for you, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven that you should say, who will go up for us to heaven and bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it. Neither is it beyond the sea that you should say, who will go over the sea for us and bring it to us, so that we may hear it and do it. But the word is very near you. It is in your mouth and in your heart, so that you can do it. We need but seek it, and it must be found. We will not be misled today by what appears to us as sick. We go beyond appearances today and reach the source of healing from which nothing is exempt. We will succeed to the extent to which we realize there can never be a meaningful distinction made between what is untrue and equally untrue. Here there are no degrees and no beliefs that what does not exist is truer in some forms than in others. All of them are false and can be cured because they are not true. So do we lay aside our amulets, our charms and medicines, our chants and bits of magic in whatever form they take. We will be still and listen for the voice of healing, which will cure all ills as one, restoring saneness to the Son of God. No voice but this can cure. Today we hear a single voice which speaks to us of truth, where all illusions end and peace returns to the eternal quiet home of God. We waken hearing Him. Him refers to God who will speak to us through His voice. That this is God made especially clear later in this paragraph, which speaks of the time when we can hear our Father speak to us. We waken hearing Him and let Him speak to us 5 minutes as the day begins, and end the day by listening again 5 minutes more before we go to sleep. Our only preparation is to let our interfering thoughts be laid aside, not separately, but all of them as one. They are the same. We have no need to make them different and thus delay the time when we can hear our Father speak to us. We hear Him now. We come to Him today. With nothing in our hands to which we cling, with lifted hearts and listening minds, we pray. Only salvation can be said to cure. Speak to us, Father, that we may be healed. And we will feel salvation cover us with soft protection and with peace so deep that no illusion can disturb our minds, nor offer proof to us that it is real. This will we learn today, and we will say our prayer for healing hourly, and take a minute as the hour strikes and hear the answer to our prayer be given us, as we attend in silence and in joy. This is the day when healing comes to us. This is the day when separation ends and we remember who we really are. Thank you for joining. Oh no, I'm going to read the commentary. You're not getting rid of me that quickly. Uh-oh. Don't leave me. Here I am. Only salvation can be said to cure. The purpose of this lesson is to seek healing for the mind, not the body, by hearing the voice of healing, which God placed inside you, so close you cannot lose it. So the practice periods, we're going to have 2 meditations at the beginning and end of day for 5 minutes each, which I will record separately. Let all your interfering thoughts be laid aside as one, for they are all equally meaningless. And then, with empty hands, lifted heart, and listening mind, pray. Only salvation can be said to cure. Speak to us, Father, that we may be healed. You are asking that the voice of healing speak to you, to heal your mind, the source of all sickness. Then, in the silence of all thought, listen for God's voice, which will cure all ills regardless of their size or shape. Feel His salvation blanket you with protection and deep peace, allowing no illusion to disturb your holy mind. You will succeed to the degree that you realize there are no meaningful distinction among illusions. They are all unreal, and that is why they can be cured. And then on the hour, for a minute, do a short version of the longer practice periods. Say, only salvation can be said to cure. Speak to us, Father, that we may be healed. Then listen in joyous silence and hear God's answer. Commentary. The cure that the Course is talking about is a healing of the mind, not of the body. The body needs no healing, but the mind that thinks it is a body is sick indeed. Me, as I'm studying weight loss and nutrition. I used to struggle so much with that. I mean, not weight loss and nutrition, well, that too, but the body, mind, identity. The lesson, and I still do sometimes. The lesson, not near as much though. It's like I can just have fun with it and not take it overly serious, if that makes sense. Okay, I'll shut up. The lesson is the mind was sick that thought the body could be sick. So we seek a cure in the physical realm by any means, even New Age means, is what the Course would call magic. Calling it magic doesn't mean we can't use it if our fear level requires it. The Course advocates a compromise approach in such circumstances. And then you can see the references if you want to pause and look those up. The atonement heals the mind that thinks the body can be sick. I just want to comment here that this is the blue A Course in Miracles book, the references here, not the new edition. But I'm sure it's right along in the same area, I would hope, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, I just wanted to say that. The atonement heals the mind that thinks the body can be sick. There is no magic. This lesson applies to bodily sickness, but it applies equally to any apparent problem in this material world. Financial lack, loneliness, and so on. These problems all occur within the dream, and finding a magic formula within the dream is never the solution. We are curing the symptom and not the disease. The root of the problem is within the mind. Let us not try today to seek to cure what cannot suffer sickness. Our problems are not physical in nature. We will not be misled today by what appears to us as sick. So do we lay aside our amulets, crystals, religious medallions, our charms and medicines, our chants and bits of magic in whatever form they take. Early in the text, Jesus makes it clear that magic is not evil, it just doesn't really work. It is not only a stopgap, an attempt to rid ourselves of symptoms without really curing the disease. It is only a stopgap. Yet sometimes that is the best we can do. We have a headache, and with a splitting headache, it is often difficult to quiet the mind and peacefully meditate ourselves well. So we use magic. Meditate, don't medicate, meditate. I like that. We take aspirin. There is no shame in this. Only let us not deceive ourselves that we have really done anything to cure the disease. We have simply masked the symptom. If you are afraid to use the mind to heal, you should not attempt to do so. If our fear level is high, a compromise approach may be necessary. Only salvation can be said to cure. The magic of this world can mask symptoms, but not the cure. The mind that brings illusions to the truth is really changed. There is no change but this. Today we are asked to practice just this, bringing our illusions to the truth, allowing our guilt to be removed from our minds. This cures and nothing else. There is no place where He, God, is not. And this includes our minds. Sin would keep Him out, but since He is everywhere, sin cannot be anywhere. Sin cannot be in our minds. This is the thought that cures. Sin and therefore sickness cannot be real because God is in us. He has not left us, and what we think is sin cannot be so. In our awareness of His presence, guilt disappears, and with it, the cause of sickness. I thank you for joining with me. Lesson 140, Only Salvation Can Be Said to Cure. And if you'd like to meditate with me, there will be a separate video. Thank you. I love you. Have a beautiful day.